And hello, ChiroSecure viewers, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Kim Klapp, founder of Assistance for Chiropractic Excellence. And before we get started with today's topic, I want to take a moment to thank ChiroSecure. Not only do they provide unparalleled coverage and exceptional customer service, yay, they really give so much back to the profession. So I appreciate them sponsoring this program. Of course, I also appreciate you for watching. So please say hello, let me know where you're located, and of course, it would appreciate if you liked or loved today's program. Now, hopefully everyone had a wonderful holiday season full of fun, family, and friends. I know I did. I especially loved the time I got to spend playing games. Our family and friends had a board game and party game marathon. Speaking of games, anyone remember this? And let's see if we can get that slide on up. All right, so basically you draw a card and most of them have a Most of them have a colored square indicating where you should move your playing piece to. And you follow the path and move forward. Don't we all like moving forward? Now, the great news is that some cards have two squares, which means you get to move to the second square of that color, twice as far. Kind of like how the right office systems can make it super simple to increase your practice. And sometimes you end up landing on a shortcut square and you get to glide even farther ahead, kind of like with the rainbow trail. That reminds me of how the right headspace for the doctor makes practice success that much easier. And if you are really lucky, you draw a card with a treat on it. And then you get to go way, way ahead, the ice cream float being the best. Now, of course, you're thinking Kim Klapp had too much sugar over the holidays, which may be true, but there is a point. Continuous improvement rocks. It's the Japanese principle of Kaizen, and that's what I found my Assistance for Chiropractic Excellence coaching program on, where we focus on just one practice growth core topic each month, because that way you'll find that by focusing on one topic, even if you do it on your own, it makes it super stress-free for you to continually reach higher levels of excellence. However, that being said, I absolutely love effortless exponential growth even more. And I found that by having an empowered team, it can do just that for your practice. So today, I want to share 4 simple strategies with you to enable your team to make your practice growth so much faster and easier. All right, so I know that when you hear that, some of you are already groaning because your previous experience with staff equates to your biggest practice stressor. But today, I want to help you turn that around. Now, one reason that there are so many negative issues with staff is because of a lack of fundamental team relationship strategies. So the first one being expectation management. And expectation management is key in any successful relationship. And hopefully you're already utilizing that with your clients. It's like using turn signals when you're driving. Simply letting someone know upfront what to expect and then following through. That leads to satisfaction. But you also want to take the guesswork out of your practice and help your team members feel confident, because that's going to lead to higher job satisfaction for them. So one easy way to let your team know what to expect is with policies. And it is critical that your office has a personnel policy, so your team knows what the doctor expects, as well as the positive or negative consequences for their actions, so they can choose to comply. And by far, the most frequent calls that I get relate to a problem that either a doctor or a team leader has with a CA. The vast majority of the problems could be prevented just by having a clear personnel policy and adhering to it. It's always shocking to me when I hear, Kim, this is the 12th time my CA has been late. And I'm thinking, 12? Seriously? How in the world did you get to 12? So your personnel policy needs to list behaviors that are unacceptable along with the consequences. In other words, first there's a verbal warning, then a written warning, and 3 written warnings then become grounds for dismissal, or whatever the case may be. But your personnel policy should also list those behaviors that are cause for immediate dismissal. In addition to that, you need policies that detail your expectations for communication, verbal, electronic, written, for computer use, for social media, for conduct, EHR security, for your office key, etc. Now, I know that ChiroSecure has a great template for a social media office policy, but if you need the other policies, both my office systems course and my hiring package include those. Now, let's move on to strategy number 2. That is to clarify the why. Now, most great CAs are naturally detail oriented, and you want to help them, you know, get the big picture rather than just concentrating on the what and the how of their duties. I would say the bigger the why, the higher they'll fly. So make sure that in addition to teaching your team about chiropractic philosophy, you clearly communicate your practice vision to your team. It's amazing how being clear on the type of practice you want and the type of new patients that you'd like to serve in your community, it makes decisions so much easier in your office with everything from dress code to the type of internal marketing events you want to have, because you want everything in your practice to be congruent with your vision and mission. And your mission statements serve as your North Star. They keep you headed in the right direction. So I always recommend starting your day with a team huddle that should begin with the doctor reading the practice mission and then a team member reading the CA mission statement to help everyone reconnect to their purpose of why they're there and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, if you need help crafting a vision statement or a mission statement, you can go to my website, chiropracticassistance.com/mission, and download examples of all of these. Now, you also want to communicate your practice core values to your team. For example, ours include respect, integrity, and exceptional service. And what I find is that if your team understands that respecting your client's time is one of your core values, well, that means that they can help you minimize unnecessary waiting and thereby increase your practice capacity. So it all works together. And it's also important to help your team understand the doctor's objectives for your patients, in addition to your practice goals. Now, if you ask your CAs what your objectives are for your patients, you may get a deer in the headlights look. Most CAs know your numerical practice goals, but they're just not clear on your objectives. So let me give you an example. In our practice, our objective is to help our clients maintain a nerve function score of at least 80 out of 100. But understand that the more clear your CAs are on your clinical objectives, the more that they can hone their communication and their patient education accordingly. And that's going to equate to increased patient compliance, less missed appointments, higher volume, you name it. Now, you also need to clarify the role of a CA. Realize, like we've talked about, CAs have so many more interactions or opportunities for interactions with patients than the doctor does. On the phone, during check-in, during checkout, during scans, via email, you name it. And we all know that CAs have a jillion tasks to juggle. But we need to be clear that the main role of a CA is to get new patients into the office and get them back according to the doctor's recommendations. So that's the main role. However, I believe that the ultimate goal of a CA is really to help build as many win-win relationships as possible between your practice and your community. That's a much bigger vision. And because we understand from an we almost understand that from an etymological perspective, doctor doesn't mean healer, it means teacher. So a chiropractic assistant is really a teaching assistant. So we want to help empower CAs to embrace that tremendous difference that they can make as the gatekeeper of the practice. So our third strategy is to identify priorities. Identify priorities in advance. Sometimes improvisation is necessary. You can't see everything coming. The crystal ball takes time off. However, the surprises are a lot easier to manage if the doctor has decided what takes priority in your office and has communicated to the team in advance. Now, most of the problems come up in your office because your team is forced to guess how the doctor would want something handled, and ESP doesn't work. I promise I'm married to the doctor, and ESP definitely does not work. So communicate what the number one priority is in your practice. Now, ours is always the patient's experience. That makes it really easy for our team to remember to always focus 100% of their attention on the client, not the computer, not their coworkers, not paperwork. It also helps them to prevent any issue from snowballing. We don't want to have an angry patient situation that could have been prevented or a negative online review. So again, the priorities really help. And when it comes to patient visits, also determine what scenario takes precedence and communicate that to your team. So for example, if they have to choose whom to devote attention to, should it be the patient on the phone or the one in the office? Well, in our practice, we love the one you're with, the one who's made the effort to come to the office. So what about an established client visit or a new patient? Who gets priority in those scenarios? In our office, it's the new patient, because we realize that new patients have only this one visit to gauge our office and the amount of waiting. Whereas our established clients know that we respect their time and they're usually in and out in less than 10 minutes. So if we tell the new patient that the doctor will be with them in a few minutes and they wait for 15, 20, or 30 minutes, they're going to assume that it's always like that in our office. Plus, we violated their trust. While on the other hand, we can typically make it up to our established clients who know better, and free mini massage does wonders. But when it comes to determining which of the jillion duties takes priority, it always comes back to whichever duties that bring a new patient into our office or back to our office according to the doctor's recommendations. Those always take priority. And to simplify prioritization for our team, we even put an asterisk on our duty checklists, and that indicates that those duties are the most critical ones that have to be done every day before the end of each shift. Now, the fourth strategy is to empower your team is to express appreciation. Now, this makes a huge difference in your team wanting to help build your practice. Now, keep in mind, in my 24 years in this profession, I've been speaking live since 97. I've never met a CA yet who got too much appreciation. No one ever comes back to me and says, Kim, I feel like Quasimodo from all those packs on the bat that the doc keeps giving me. All right. So what I find, though, is not everybody responds to the same type of appreciation. So to that, I've created an appreciation survey that helps us to individualize rewards. I find it a little crazy. Not everyone likes chocolate or enjoys spa treatments, but again, we want to respect the differences. So we have each new team member complete an online survey on their first day of employment. But this sends a powerful message that we truly care about what they like and that we plan to demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. So not only will it help you express appreciation for going that extra mile, but it also encourages CAs to continue to find new ways to shine and repeatedly exceed expectations. Now, another form of appreciation are bonus systems. And I love bonus systems provided they're a win-win. Unfortunately, there's some out there that are based on an average monthly collections that have a serious pitfall. So instead, the one that I've created is based on volume, on your weekly patient visits. So it's much more of a win-win. There's some other benefits too that we can't get into today, but I did create an Excel spreadsheet that calculates the bonus amounts automatically once you just input 3 different stats: your current volume, your collections, and your number of team members. And you are welcome to email me, kim@chiropracticassistance.com, if you'd like to get a copy of my bonus spreadsheet. But again, I only share that with the doctors only because of the sensitive nature of pay structures. Now, free lunch Mondays. Those are earned anytime your team reaches the new patient goal of the preceding week. We know that processing more new patients is extra upfront work for your team, and we want to keep that being a positive thing. So lunch lets our team know how much we appreciate their efforts and their impeccable first impressions. Plus, it makes our weekly team meetings even more fun on Mondays. Now, we also give out $10 gift cards. Doesn't seem like a lot, but anytime we receive a compliment that specifically mentions a team member by name, whether it's on our initial visit survey, our second visit survey, or online review, because remember, behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated, and they rack those $10 gift cards up, usually to Target. Again, thank you for being on target. You can also pass around an Atlas Award when someone has an exceptional idea or does something extraordinary. They display it at the workstation until someone else earns it, and then we pass it on. Why the Atlas Award? Because it's for performance at the top. And we also like to celebrate team anniversaries. We post it up on our video monitors in our practice all month, and we also put it on Facebook. We like to make sure that we give the appropriate gift, whether they like flowers, a goodie basket, you name it, and a gift certificate to their favorite store, depending on how long they've been with us. Now, not only does this reward loyalty and dependability, but it encourages new team members to stay on board so they can experience the same appreciation. Now, these are just a handful of examples. There are really tons more. And if I can help you in any way, whether you're looking for training for a new CA, excellence coaching for established CAs, hiring systems, practice systems, please visit my website, chiropracticassistance.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the links where you can either click or email me. I hope that you find that empowered CAs make the doctor's life way easier. Not only do they anticipate what the patient needs, making their experience better, but they seize opportunities for them to shine. And they really move beyond the ordinary in every area to help your practice and increase your collections, retention, and referrals. I love this quote that the founder of Walmart said: outstanding leaders go out of their way to boost the self-esteem of their personnel. If people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. So I'd love to help your team reach higher levels of excellence. And thanks again to ChiroSecure for providing this forum to increase chiropractic success. Your host next week will be Michael Misko. Thanks so much.